Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experimental video. Today I want to try and work with an experiment which I kind of play around with from time to time, and that is to kind of see if we can build a fully functional city where every bracket for tax is set at 20%. Now what I mean by I kind of play with this time to time, we kind of all done this. You build a city, you start to lose a lot of money, you're heading for bankruptcy, so I don't know, just for a little time, like 5-10 minutes, you always set your tax rates up to 20% so you can get a big bulk of money and then try and do some improvements. And then once you get the improvement, well, the money for the improvements, you put it back down to like the normal, like, you know, 11%, 10%, 9%, whatever you choose. But I want to know what would happen if it was constantly set at 20%. Can you make a functional city? That's the question I want to see. Will the residents learn to love that tax bracket? I don't know. Because I feel like every time I do it, they all move out and my city just goes terrible. So I want to see if we can sustain it. So that's what all this experiment's about today. If you enjoy this and want to see more experiments in the future, then make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new in here, make sure you subscribe too. So what I want to do first then, just to kind of like, you know, get the solid core basis for it, we're going to create a very, very small town. We're going to get it up and running, functional, working beautifully. That's what we want to do. And then I'll incorporate the 20% tax increase. So we're going to earn a lot of money from them, but I want to see when it's all kind of set up and, you know, as it would normally be, once you set it to 20%, how much do we have to adjust? How much are we going to need to change to kind of accommodate the tax bracket threshold? Or alternatively, are they all just going to physically move out? So this could go one of two ways. We could end up with a ghost town, which is probably, you know, my prediction of what's going to happen. Or we could just tick along just nicely. You just never know. But there's a reason you can add a 20% tax bracket. So I like to think that you can make it functional, but we're going to find out today. So we got a little kind of turn off here for the interstate. So let's kind of get rid of that there. And we want to kind of create a small town. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to go ridiculously big. It's going to be nice and simple. So let's take a beautiful little 6-lane road here and we'll kind of bring it down to about here. Cut it across. And this can cut through the city, or the town, should I say. It would be beautiful. We'll do it like a... There we go. A crossroads. Nice. So let's kind of hook up how this is going to attach to this road. It's a little bit off, but it doesn't really matter. So if I can do this, can we just do it as simple as this? It's a little bit of a shambles. Just go with it. Just go with it, okay, guys? Right, let's bend that out. There we go. Right, leave me alone. It works. Okay, so let's go with a couple of little smaller roads here. Just kind of like, no, do you know what? No, let's not. It's a small little town. Nothing crazy is going to happen here. It's just going to be nice, simple, beautiful. Kind of like, you know, middle America, kind of, in a sense. So let's just create like a few little grids. And we might do a few little patterns here and there. And bring that up. There we go. So nice little section there. Why not? Why not? I'll try and do something different on other little sides. Just to kind of add a little bit of zhuzh is the word. A little bit of zhuzh to the styling of the city. So let's cut that one through. And we'll bring this one into here as well. That can cut through just beautifully. So I'll create some little cul-de-sacs right now. Damn, boy, this is going to be looking pretty good. I don't want to spend too much time on this, because this is not the point of this experiment. So I need to be careful I don't get too carried away, so to speak. So let's do a little bit of trails. Nice. And I say this side is pretty much done. We'll just do a couple here. Delete you. Okay, right. So we'll start with this side of the city first. Start to get it up and running. So we'll do a nice little bit of residential. Bit of commercial, industry, some offices, throw down some schools. We just want to get it up and running to the point where it can sustain itself and it's functional before we go any further. That's going to be pretty cool. So we're going to have to do all the piping work first. So I'm going to go quite broad on the piping work. Ignore my piping work. I don't know, I always say this, ignore my piping work like it's a shambles, but then again, who really does good piping work? Come on, as long as it has the basic coverage. I've done a nice spiral. We'll connect it all up in the middle there. So, yeah, it is what it is. Right, let's get some water stuffs done. So you here, and we'll probably use one of those basins for a sewage plant. Give it some power. There we go. So at least it's got some water. It won't have sewage just yet, but it's got some water. So on the outskirts then, we'll kind of do like the low residential stuff. There we go. And then we kind of squeeze some high density in the gaps. Like that. We do some commercial around the edges. That should be quite nice. So let's do some there. So a lot of high density here. I want to kind of change this up a bit. So there we go, all high density. And then we'll go with low density commercial. Again, they're not educated enough just yet to work in the high density. But we'll get that set up eventually soon anyway. So that's that kind of area taken care of. We'll see how that ticks along. But let's kind of now get where we want the industrial side set up. So bring it down so far. Now we have a cut in just here, which we'll take. And then we'll treat this here as another cut-in. So while that does all the building, we're focusing on other things. Amazing. There we go. I'm actually quite liking this little area. It's going to be beautiful, boys. It's going to be beautiful. Right, let's bring this, down to here. And we'll just cut that through there. Genius. Okay, so let's bring this over then. And we'll try and do more of a grid effect over on this side. Yeah, boy. And then just finish it up slightly. Okay, right. I'm happy with that. That is, make sure it's all got water. Okay, it just falls short just over on this side. Just a little bit over here too. Okay, it's all good. It's got what it needs. Okay, so there's still a lot of things that it's going to need right now. Power, sewage, and all that kind of good stuff. So let's set up a garbage disposal, which is my favorite one. And we'll pick it for... Okay, let's go for here. No, we'll go there for it. We'll get some of those basins now for the sewage. And we'll place them on this side. Can I squeeze two in there? Yes. Nice. There we go. So we'll have some sewage taken care of. That will start producing power, of course, once we start collecting garbage. But until then, we'll do a little bit of industrial area now. So place a little bit of this down. By a little bit, it's going to be a nice large chunk of it anyway. And I think that's as much as we want to do. We'll kind of separate that then with like an office industry. That's to be like a buffer object in this whole area there. We'll then do some high density commercial in this area. You never know how it's going to turn out. And the rest can be high density residential. That then takes the fall for all the rest of the zoning. And I think we can be pretty much happy with that to a certain extent, right? I think we can. So we'll just let the kind of city simulate for a little bit. He actually is now starting to turn a profit. So with that said, we can start to add in some of the services then. So policing, let's go for... You know what? Yeah, why not? Let's go for the big, huge, large police tower. Which we'll place... yeah, let's get it here. Place it there. Have a nice coverage network. We'll go for the large, beefy fire department, sir. And put it next door to the police station. The hospital front then. We'll go for the Life Centre Hospital, which we'll place there. As you'll place them all together in the office industry, kind of a district, so to speak. And that'll have really, really good coverage. The only thing we're missing now then is a little bit of, you know, crematorium work. So let's place these around every so often. So we'll do one there on that side. We'll throw one over on this side. And we'll squeeze one over in here. Okay, that should be good to go. Alright, let's have a little fast forward then. Let's get this city up and running, up and working. This cool little place. People are only now just starting to move in, so it'll take some time to get things rocking and rolling. We're 3,000 in the hole, but over time it should turn around. The big one would be when we start producing power. That would be the big turnaround too. Right, can I get these guys in the city a little bit quicker, please? So, merge them into this lane. Make sure that you can't do a turn on those roads. That will then bring these guys in a bit. Make them choose a certain lane. Get them all in to where they need to be. And I feel like we should upgrade these roads slightly too. So let's go for like a 2-laner. There we go. So the 2-laner, and what that means we can then do is more lane distribution. So that lane for that lane for that, this lane for this lane for this. And it all merges into like a certain road that they would then kind of filter into. So we'll see what that does over time. So a lot of them are going to be making that turn anyway. Because that's where the majority of the residential stuff is. So they want to make that turn there. So let's designate this to be that turn, and this one to be this turn. That should filter out what lane they're going to be flying into, which should filter the traffic a little bit more. But okay, let's focus off that end, because we now start to turn a profit. A lot of the high-density commercial is complaining about not enough workers. But as the population increases, they should fill that. We're going to need to add in some schools too to educate them. So let's kind of get a couple of this down right now. Right, let's go for... Okay, let's place one just here. A nice little elementary school. We'll get one over on this side next to the crematorium. An unfortunate place to be educated. And we'll get one just here as well. So that's 3 elementary schools that we'll drop in. Capacity 900. We'll go for a high school right now. We'll drop the high school just here on the big main road. And I think we're going to need 2 of these. So let's place another one over here too. Let's kind of squeeze this one in there. So 2 of those. We'll grab a university, which we'll throw over here as well, because we've got quite a bit of space for it around the back. And this is where we're going to start to heavily lose money. But it should be okay, right? We should be turning a profit soon. If not, we'll up the taxes. But we're losing 2,000 anyway, which is inevitable. So we got to do little things then. We got to now do little things to increase it. So we do stuff like this. We grab a paint park area, and where will be a good spot to paint a park? So we could do one over here. I'm trying to do like little gaps of ones as well. So let's do one in here. We'll place one in there. Let's make sure it's all to the edges. And then we'll do a big paint section here. And we'll paint all that around the edge here. Oh, have I done... Okay, I've clicked it too many times and created multiple ones. There we go. Right, there we go. So we got 3 parts we can place in. Seems a bit excessive, but it should be fairly good. Right, let's get... I'm trying to destroy the least amount of buildings. Okay, we'll just go for that one anyway. Place one in there for that little area. We'll place one in here. And this should cause then upgrades in the future. And one just there. And then we'll do the little side gates for each side of the area so you can cut through. This will be the good one, the big boy one, because we can do many, many things. So if we just place that there on that side, because it can bridge over. Take one up from up here. Take one from up here. Okay, I've got not enough money to build this, but let me quickly grab a small loan. Let's pause it a second, because this is what makes us money in return in just a moment. So we'll take one from there, from here. There's one just there. From here. Yeah, it should be fine there. Yeah, it should be good. Right, okay, let's do now each park with a path. There's not going to be much in there to do with like these smaller ones, but it's more just to kind of build up some form of revenue. That's pretty much all they're going to be designed to do. So connect you up. Connect you up. Alright, how quick can I connect that there like that? And then we have this one here, which we'll use as the bridge. Okay, so with a nice couple of parks in, we'll charge maximum $1 for that. Where's this one? There it is. Okay, so once this is now functional, we can then change the tax bracket, so to speak. So let's see then how this now changes. So we're losing quite a bit of money. 2,000 odd. Can we get away with... Okay, people are now starting to enter this park. Mainly this one to cross over the bridge, which is a good one. So, which is the Hawthorne Garden. So that will start to earn some revenue. And that should slowly start to turn things around for us. So, we're now losing 1,500, which is rapidly decreasing. Is Florence Hill making... Yeah, that's making monies. When we've got more money, we can add a little bit of like extra attractiveness to those parks. This one's not making anything just yet, but it will do eventually. So we're now down to only losing 500 as more and more people move into the city. So those parks, once you start to add some attractiveness to it, should start to cause some upgrades. The upgrades then bring in more people, and then we're ready to do what we come here to do the whole time. Change it to a 20% bracket. Right, we're now making profit a week, so we'll give it a few minutes to kind of simulate, get everyone moving in, a little bit of an education, up and running to a solid small community, little town, and then we'll up the brackets. And then watch it all many minutes later. We kind of now up to the point where it's running smoothly. We're making 11,000 a week profit. The upgrades are coming in so thick and fast. We've now got 16,000 residents living in the little city, and rapidly increasing. We're gaining like 300 a week too, so it's going really well. All the kind of commercial high density and all that kind of complain about not enough educated workers. Now that's kind of seemed to have died down as everyone is becoming, or slightly starting to become more and more educated, which is pretty good. Unemployment levels, 13%. That's going to be an interesting one to watch once we start changing the tax brackets, because a lot of people might not be able to afford to work. Well, I mean, they can afford to work. It's like when they work, it's not going to afford to pay their bills. So that'll be interesting to see how that changes. But then again, it all means nothing if everybody moves out, which I feel like that is what's going to happen. We've got up to 17,000 population right now. So let's start playing with it a little bit then. So we've got a couple of loans which you can actually pay back right now. Let's pay those back so we can reduce how much of our outgoings are going out. And I know from past experience that 11% is the maximum that you can set the tax rates to, where everybody pays it, nobody moves out, and it doesn't affect the residents. I know that from experience. 11% is the maximum. When you start playing around with 12, 13, 14, then they start to and ah and get a little bit rowdy. But as long as you've kind of got the high paying jobs and the highly educated people, they will take the 12, 13 and 14%. It's just nobody likes 20%. Nobody likes 20% tax. Come on, guys. But what this has done anyway for us, as of right now, it's changed it to now we're making 19,000 a week. That's some crazy money. We've got some traffic issues over here. Everyone's still... I mean, the whole... the whole little town right now is at a population explosion. It's ridiculous. I feel like I should turn traffic lights off here. Allow them to filter in smoothly. Smoothly, I say. We'll see how things go. I could also create little outlets to the highway, but is it that bad? Do we need to work with that kind of stuff? I don't know. We seem to be alright, don't we? We seem to be alright. Alright, so yeah, 11%. They feel like it's okay. There's a couple of people over here complaining. Not enough educated workers. Again, they will get educated over time. But it was at 13% unemployed. What's that now done to us? Okay, it's gone to 19% unemployed. 20%. Okay. That's for the low-paying jobs. People have like moved out because they can't afford to, you know, for the money they were making from their low job, they can't afford the 11% in tax. So let's move it up now. Let's take it now. Let's pause. Let's take it up to 14%. So we're increasing it by 3% each one. And let's see how much of an effect an additional 3% in all areas, might I add, takes on our city. So, this will be interesting. We're making a rapid amount of money a week. It's now up to 25,000. The population growth still hasn't seemed to decrease just yet. Is the way to get it to 20% is to slowly increase the tax bracket? I don't know. Look at the population growth. Oh, I thought the population growth was slowing down for a second there. It's not. It's still going. We're making nearly 30,000 a week in profit. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we get in the issues. Now, where did the issues come from? They come from the lower residential, low density stuff. So low density commercial building, taxes are too high. So yeah, they're starting to complain. So the low density residential. Okay, so is this commercial? What's this? This is some of the offices are complaining. None of the industry's complaining just yet. Right, so now they're starting to complain. Let's go full shebang. Oh, it's not 20%, sorry. It's 29%. Okay, right. 29% is a big... That's a big one. That is definitely a big one. And I know this city is probably going to fail after this, but let's just see what happens. Let's just see, once the city fails, after the aftermath, will anybody return? Will anybody return to this sacred city? We're making 70,000 a week. Okay, everybody. There is not going to be a single person who doesn't complain right now. So now we're starting to have some population. The population is now starting to dip. This is where everybody decides, you know what, Seniac, I've had enough of your fun and games right now. I am moving out of the city. And that's fine. They can do what they want to do. We're going to try and milk it for as much money as we possibly can for a little while. Everyone's moving out. And then I might slowly start to decrease the tax bracket to see if I can find that even playing ground where a lot of them are going to complain, but some of them remain. Oh man, they're leaving us. They're leaving us right now. They are rats leaving a sinking ship right now, guys. Alright, and nobody's happy. Look at this. We've got the happiness all the way down right now. Let's check out the global happiness. So it is decreasing. It's decreasing quite quick. We can't sustain 29% tax bracket. So let's bring it all down to 20 each one. So 20 is what I originally said. I thought that was the maximum. It just shows you how much I've never played with the maximum tax brackets. So let's bring it down to 20%. Can we survive off 20%? Oh, it's changed some of it. Not really. I think I was just zoomed out a little bit too far. Right, can we turn that around? Is it possible? I mean, the population dip is now starting to decrease. The population is actually increasing. Will they pay 20% tax? Global happiness is now improving again. Yeah, you know what? I think, you know, they're going like, yeah, I'll pay 20% tax. It's better than paying 29%, Seniac. So I think that's why we're initially getting the people move back in. 20%. Even that feels ridiculously high. Considering the base game sets it at like 8%. But people, they're moving in. People are moving in, they're coming back, they're realizing they made a terrible judgment error and want to pay El Presidente. They want to pay the mayor of this city more and more money. But if I can get enough people moved back in, I'm going to turn a profit again with a 20% tax margin. Something seems fishy here. And I can't quite put my finger on it. Okay, so they're educated. So they're all going to be uneducated again as they move back in. Understandable. But they're moving back in. Not as many, and not in full force of the 20% population I had. No, 20,000 population I had before. We're now, okay, so we can't get any higher than 4,000 there. We start to dip a bit right now. So I think that's the initial people who moved in and decided, no, can't afford 20%. Abort. I think they're now leaving. But we managed to get up to 4,600 again. I wonder if it will level back out again, or will everybody decide, nope, this is not for me, I'm outie. So if that was the case, then, what if I switched it around? What if I said that all residential is 1%, then every job industry sector gets taxed at high rates? What happens at that point? Because at this point, yeah, we're going to have all the people living here. But will they work in these industries that get taxed really high for the sake of living almost tax-free? That's something else that will be quite interesting to find out. Wouldn't it, really? We got a lot of peeps moving in again. I should sort out this filter in here because they should really decide what lane they should be in. Oh, it's because this one's not filtered. There we go. It shall move a little bit smoother as they are now all come back in. We're making profit again. It's going to be working. But ultimately, it's not great, is it? It's not great. We do have another inlet over here. Do I bring this over? Do I bring this over on a... There is a 2-lane highway we can use in it with a sound barrier. What's the best way to get this? From that side? Yeah. Right, this is don't judge what I'm about to do. This is for the funsies. For the funsies! Right. Bridge it over. Bring it down. It's just a way to get in and out of the city. Because I'm too lazy to do a proper highway connection. Oh man, what have I done? Anyway, right. So population is now booming again. It's bringing everybody back in. Is everywhere complaining about these tax issues? Like, these guys really are not operating normally. So this could be a way to kind of get around the tax issue, is have everybody there, but obviously commercial industry taxed so high. Right, does this lane filter in? There we go, we should get more vehicles now using this connection. Bringing those guys into this side of the city. So it seems to be functional to some degree. It really does. Happiness is back up again, but is that happiness for all? Not really. Right about 30% for all commercial, office, industrial. Residents are loving the city right now. Oh, apparently industrial's very happy too. They're happy they're being taxed so high. Okay. As you will. But yeah, this actually works. If you can get past the annoying flashy Sediak, your boy, taxes are too high icons, you could run a city simply based on the fact that all the residents live tax-free, which makes them super duper happy, and they're free to do whatever they like and live in big houses, and it will really expand your residential mark. Education thrives off that. To then compensate that by heavily taxating the commercial and industry areas, and that's where you kind of make your money. So it's like you kind of sacrifice those two industries, those two areas, to give a huge boost and benefit to your residential side. It's kind of how it's progressing, right? I'm surprised you don't have huge backlogs of traffic over here. I think a lot of this is because of the traffic lights. Let's bring them in. So yeah, we're up to 14,000 in profit. Obviously nowhere near the 70,000 we had before. Population is growing again. Buildings are upgrading. That will bring more and more people back in too. So when I say taxes are too high, they've got 9 out of 12 workers, almost all to the standard that they need them to be. And then the building is abandoned. So I reckon a lot of these buildings will get abandoned over time. Unemployment, 23%. So it's not even as bad as it once was. That's quite interesting. Really. That is quite interesting. So you can have a functional city with commercial and industry being taxed at 29%. But you can't have a functional city when the residential is taxed at 29%. Because that's when all hell breaks loose. How much are you earning off residential, even with that 1%? 1,000. Of course. Of course we are. That's ridiculous, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. What's our expenses? Our expenses are 20,000. Even that's high, but I do have some like ridiculously, crazy service buildings. But this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. So I think this is quite a good experiment in kind of seeing how it would work. Your city does scream at you, but as long as you can get past the screaming of the flashiness, you can have a functional city. So this would be a perfect method for if you want to focus on having like a really high educated residential kind of area. Lower your residential area to kind of bring everybody in and get them educated and moved in really quick. And then just sacrifice your commercial and industry area. And then when you feel like your residential's pretty much is where you want it to be, then just put the tax brackets back to normal. There's never a way to cheat the game. If you want to have like a ridiculous amount of money from this system, you might as well just play with the unlimited money mod. It's probably the easiest thing to do. But it is fairly interesting to see how it reacts, because you can pull up to 29% for a reason. And obviously, putting 29% residential is not a good idea, because without the residents, the city doesn't function. So you need those at least. I mean, worst case scenario, we could put the residential up to 11%, which actually, no, we've kind of found out, was it 14? No, I'm going to go 12. 12 is a little bit high than I would recommend. But, yeah, it should still be semi-functional. I mean, look how much money we're making right now. 26,000 a week? 27,000 a week? No, Seniac, maybe it's 30,000 a week. It's just going up and up and up. You get the point, right? You get the point. So this is fairly interesting, guys. This has been a great experiment. So I think we're going to end it for there. I hope you did enjoy this experiment. If you've got any other experiment ideas you want me to see me do in the future, let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.